Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I want to believe you can hear me. I will need us to confirm the audio is good, loud, and clear. Getting some thumbs up. Felix Iron, good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much. CRM, thank you very much, sir. Good morning to you. Mr. Brown, thank you very much, sir. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the confirmation, Felix. All right, so Yemi, thank you very much. It's great to have you join us. Right. Thank you very much. Endurance, I believe. L and C. Very good. Thank you, sir. I like that. L and C. Loud and clear. Kenny Ade. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for joining. Good morning to you, sir. Right. Shall we have enough confirmations already? All right. Thank you very much, Thomas. Good morning to you, sir. Welcome. It's great to have you join us. Thank you very much. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much. Loud and clear. Thank you, sir. It's great to have you. Good morning. I will see our Ilori members. Okay, join soon. I get some confirmations from you as well. I've not seen that yet. All right. Thank you very much, everyone who have confirmed so far. It's great to have you on this edition of Morning Market Review. All right. About 2 more minutes and then we get started. All right. I'll take out the 2 minutes to make sure that our devices are well connected and they're good. And we're good to go as well. Debayo additional. Good morning to you. Great to have you. Okay. Let's get right to it. So good morning, everyone, once again. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen, and all traders as well. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining. It's great to have you. Uh, for Adventure is your first time joining us today. It's great to have you as well. You're most welcome. All right. Of course, this is our morning market review, NMR for short. So on this forum every day, you get to look at what's going on in the markets in terms of the fundamental events that we have, as well as the technical setups. All right. And this is also with the hope that we'll be able to pick one or two entries from the analysis session. And then we also have trade ideas and assets that we can also have for our watch list for today. Right. I see Issa Sadiq now from Quara in Norway. Thank you very much. All right. I was looking out for you earlier. Thank you for joining. Welcome. It's good to have you. Right. So as it concerns fundamental and technical setups. Um, Usually, I like to start with the majors, especially the dollar index, so that we can understand the direction of that uh, currency, all right? And then we can easily relate that to some of the other major pairs that we have to give us some clarity for those other aspects, all right? That's why I like to start with the dollar index, okay? So without further ado, let's get right to it. In terms of fundamentals, we really do not have high impact news for today. But of course, we had one yesterday that impacted the dollar index, the source of weakness. I'm sure it's not surprising to us because we're expecting a pullback. If you remember from the last session here, I was highlighting or I highlighted how a pullback is expected from that 100 level or thereabout. We get on the chart soon and then we'll be able to see, have some clarity on that stuff. So yesterday, um, right, we got the ISM manufacturing PMI. Just a second. Okay, it's still there. Thought I lost my screen. Yeah, so we got the ISM manufacturing PMI for the dollar, okay, for the USD, and it came out at about 48.2. Right, came out at 48.2, which of course is lower than the estimated value of about 48.6 and from 48.7 in October. All right. So that kind of weakens the okay. Right. Thank you very much. Just a second. Right. There you go. So I was just giving us a brief overview of what happened yesterday as regards this ISM manufacturing PMI. Because it further weakens the dollar. And I was also quick to add that it couldn't have been surprising to us because from the last session we had, we're expecting that pullback from the dollar index, right? So this kind of aggravated the impact and it happened really fast, okay? So of course, it came out lower than expected. Forecast was 49, previous value was 48.7, and then it came out at 48.2. All right. So, like I said, kind of weakened dollar. This was yesterday. All right. For today, we really do not have much of high impact news. All right. So, we're just going to dive straight into technical setups that we have. All right. For today. So, I'm going to put up the trading platform right away. There you go. All right. So this is the USD index, right? Um, Again, I like to start from here to understand the direction here, and then we can relate this to the rest of the major players that we have. Thank you, Nnamdi. It's great to have you. Even when the usually came up with the deals, was like these or bullies, what was it? So, okay, we'll check that in a second, all right? Thank you for joining and thanks for dropping the observation, all right? So, Right. This is the dollar index right here. And of course, it's one that we've talked about uh, many times on this session. And this here is the daily time frame. Okay, it's the daily time frame. And like I usually say, I like to start on the daily time frame. All right, on the daily time frame, this is my best place to start. On this time frame, I can check the important key levels, the important support and resistance levels. So this usually is my anchor chart where the main analysis is carried out. And then I tune down to a much lower time frame for a much more precise entry opportunity. All right. And I believe that once you master the art of analyzing multiple time frames like this, you'll continue to get a clearer and more accurate picture of what's going on in the markets. And this will help you to make really smart decisions. All right. Right. So this is the daily time frame, like I said. And then if you look at the structure here, it started from 96 support level, and then it increasingly give us series of higher lows and higher highs up to 100 resistance right here. Okay. Now, looking at this resistance, initially when price hits resistance at 100, we got some pullback, fantastic one. We highlighted this area back then for the pullback, dipped a little bit below that pullback area, and then pushed up even higher. Okay, pushed up even higher, but it didn't really create a fantastic higher high right here. All right, it's almost at the same level with this previous high. All right, but nevertheless, we got some pullback as well, which potentially has now given us what looks like a double bottom pattern. All right, which in itself is a bullish reversal pattern. All right. Now, if you also look at this trend line right here, supported price since September, all right, supported by since September when it tested the 96 level. And then you see how consistent that trend line has been. And then eventually we got a break below that trend line sometime in November, towards the end of November. All right, we got a retest and now we're seeing some continuation. Right now, this break below trend line, of course, may be shifting the bias towards being bearish, but the uptrend structure is still very much intact. All right, it's going to take a convincing break below this previous higher low for us to confirm that the structure has changed completely. All right, it's going to take a change below this previous higher low to fully confirm that the structure here has changed. Currently, the uptrend is still pretty much intact. All right. Now, uh, if you look at this yesterday's candle, the way it closed, we got some rejection. All right. That's why we have this long lower wick. All right. The lower price was quickly rejected. And currently we have this 99.35 support. Price is sitting on that support at 99.35. Okay. So this is going to be really critical moving forward. You need to see how price reacts to 99.35 level. Because if you get a convincing break below that, then you can expect price to push all the way to 99.135. Remember how we got this? It was the 50% level and 61.8% Fibonacci level for this move back when it happened. That's when I highlighted these two levels between 99.35 and 99.135. All right. So I will see how that area has impacted price so far. All right. So currently, like I said, it's now sitting on this 99.35 support. And that's going to be critical moving forward because if you get it close below that, then it has a tendency to continue to push to the downside. And remember, it's going to take a convincing break below this higher low level, all right, which comes in around 98.867. It's going to take a convincing break below this higher low level for this to completely change to or potentially change to a downtrend. All right. So far, the uptrend is still pretty much intact. All right. I'm sure a number of us would have taken advantage of these sell-off that we got for the USD index, and that would mean we would have bought pairs like Euro USD, even Pound USD, as we highlighted during the last session here. Okay, so currently, price here is around a critical support level. Okay, it's around a critical support level, and we have eyes on this to see how price behaves there in order to make a solid decision and know how to approach the rest of the major players. Okay. Currently, let's switch to the lower time frame to see what's going on there. See 15 minutes. Okay, so on the 15 minutes time frame, we already have price below the 99.35 support. We have price below that already. Okay, so on this 15 minutes time frame, we have our resistance right there. And then we have support right here. Okay, on our 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so if we get it close below this support on the 15 minutes time frame, all right, if we get it close below this support, all right, then the USD index will be settled up for further decline, all right, further decline into this area. Now, this rectangle here represents the area between the 50% Fibo level and the 61.8% Fibonacci level. All right. So it closed below this support at 99.31 or thereabout. Closed below that would set up USD index for further move or further push to the downside. And then can expect pairs like Euro USD and even Pound USD to be bullish from their current level. All right. If we get it convincing below 99.31 on this 15 minutes time frame. We don't have eyes on that, so I know how to approach pairs like Euro USD and Pound USD. On the other hand, all right, let's also consider all scenarios. Okay, let's also consider all scenarios because I like to say that we like to consider all scenarios. Okay, we like to consider all scenarios. We don't stay. We're not so focused on a particular direction. Okay, we like to consider all scenarios. So on the other hand, this would mean that if we now get it close above this resistance, okay, get it close above this resistance, then USD index has the potential to continue to push higher, and that would mean pairs like Euro USD and Pound USD would experience some decline. Should we get it close above 99.47 resistance? All right, so far it's stuck between 99.4 here and 99.31 support. All right. So the direction in which this breaks out would be significant moving forward for the USD index. All right. So let's move on to some other major pairs. I'm going to check out the USD JPY. Someone highlighted that earlier. Okay. So we have Euro USD right here. We have Euro USD right here. Okay. Now for Euro USD, while the USD index was experiencing that pullback, all right, all the way to 99.35 that we just highlighted. Of course, because Euro USD is essentially the inverse of USD index, we've got some push to the upside, almost hitting a resistance at 1.166. All right. And if you look back, you see why that level is quite significant. We've got some reactions back here, all right, and even here as well. Just a second. Yeah, even here as well, we got some reactions. Okay, so it's not surprising to see the same thing right here. Okay, and then we got that long upper week for Euro USD as well. Right. So for Euro USD, we have this 1.16 level as the support. Right. We have 1.16 level as the support. Right. So what it means is that as long as price stays above 1.16, then it has the potential to uh, retest 1.166. Right. It has the potential to retest or to push all the way to 1.166. All right. And what would invalidate that would be a close back below 1.16. So above 1.16, we'll be looking for opportunities to take buys. All right. We'll be looking for opportunities to take buys. And what would further validate this buy would be if USD index now takes out the 99.35 as support level as we highlighted earlier. It takes out that support level, it means that USD index will continue to push to the downside. Then we can expect USD to continue to push higher from this current level. All right. So above 1.16, we're looking for opportunities to take backs above 1.6. Right. So that's the daily time frame. And let's see what it looks like on 15 minutes. This is our 1.16 level, right? And we're looking at this resistance. Okay, so on this 15 minutes time frame, I'm waiting for price to break above this resistance in order for me to take that buy opportunity. All right, in order to take that buy opportunity. And again, if what we get is a close back below 1.16, then this would shift to a bearish bias for Euro USD. All right, it closed above 1.16142. This resistance there would would mean that I take my buy above that resistance. All right. So currently on this 15 minutes time frame, price is right at a resistance level, and you do not want to be buying at resistance. So number one, we wait for a pullback into this area. All right. And then we'll be buying at support right here. Of course, upon additional confirmations, right? Or we wait for price to break above that resistance, so that level automatically flips to support, and then we'll now be buying at support. Okay, now be buying at support. That's what it looks like, or that's what it's going to look like for me. Okay. Okay. Let me look at some of the comments I'm interested. Uh, maybe you're looking at a lower time frame because you the dollar index was today. From there, yes, it's very it's taken what type of because on that time frame. So it's a flourish so NZD USD structures on daily time frame. Right, NZD USD this time. NZD USD, yeah. All right, so this is NZD USD on the daily time frame. Okay. The admit channel has been very consistent. All right, price has tested the support trend line and the history audio is cracking. Let's see if it improves. Okay, so I'm looking at this descending channel right here for NZUSD on the daily time frame. I was going to say that you see how both the support trend line and the resistance trend line has been consistent. All right. How about now? I hope it's better. Hope is better. Consistent for the distance trend line as well. All right. We got some push outside the resistance right there, and then only for price to close back below it, which is fake out. All right, which is the fake out, and then we got that aggressive push to the downside. Okay. Now currently prices are pushing yet again the uh trend line resistance. Currently we have price at that trend line resistance. Okay. If we get it close above that resistance eventually, then you can expect price to continue to push higher. Okay, you can expect price to continue to push higher above that trend line resistance. All right, above that trend line resistance. So for NZD we have support right here at 0.572. Right, so we have support right here at 0.572. And then we have this trend line as our resistance. Okay, we have this trend line as our resistance. If at the current level, as we highlighted for the USD index earlier, it continues to push to the downside, then we would expect this to push higher. Okay, we'd expect this to push higher. All right. Okay, I'm sure you're looking at this lower high, right? I'm sure you endurance. I'm sure you're looking at this lower high, right? So we have this low right here, got lower high, got this lower low, right? And then you now see a break above this previous level, right? Now, of course, your observation is right. Your observation is right. Okay. Now, if you look back at what happened here, which is similar to what we have here, here you got these low points right here. You got this lower low, you got this lower high. All right, you got this lower high, and then price took out this previous lower high right there. Okay, so if we apply this to what we currently have here, 0.572 support, and then we have this trend line as our resistance. Now, if from the current level, the USD index breaks below that support, then we can expect this to continue to push higher from this current level as well. Okay, so we have 0.572 as support. Okay, so let's take that to 15 minutes time frame. So we have our support here at 0.572, okay? And then we have that trend line as our resistance. Now, this is the 50-period moving average as well. And then you see how price is currently above the 50-period moving average, which also signifies some strength, all right? So wait for some additional bullish confirmations above the 50-period moving average. And then we can take our buys. All right. So on this 15 minutes time frame, I'll be waiting for an additional confirmation. We've seen this bullish candle above the 50-period moving average. We have this doji candle as well. So it would be fantastic to see yet another bullish candle. Okay. See another bullish candle, right? Above the 50-period moving average. And then that will be my trigger to long NZD USD. Okay, that'll be my trigger to long NZD USD. Endurance, I hope you got that. Kuma, yes, that's correct. That's correct. USD came out weak, and then no, it's supposed to sell. It's supposed to sell. It's supposed to sell. It's not supposed to buy. That's for USD index because it came out weak, so it's supposed to sell. All right. Endurance, yes, I'm sure I answered that already. Yes, that's correct. That is correct. All right. So that's for NZD USD. That's for NZD USD. And then I think it was on Friday. Yeah, I think it was on Friday that somebody reached out to me to highlight this move on Euro CHM. Okay, highlighted this move on Euro CHM. Uh, the person saw a fantastic fake out at that time, right? Now I see this level here at 0.9325. Just a second, I need to make it more visible. This level right here. And then here as well, resistance. Now, if you look back, you also see multiple attempts to break below that particular point. You see here as well, 0.9325, 0.9325, 0.9325, and here as well. So we also have this confluence of support. So this for this reason, it qualifies this level as a critical area of interest. Okay, so right here, eventually price broke above that level. All right, broke above that level, and then we saw this close back below that level. So that move kind of qualified this level as a fake out. All right, but so far, now fake outs like this, like I've said multiple times, usually will trigger an extensive move in the opposite direction. Okay, which usually trigger an extensive move in the opposite direction. But so far, we do not have that yet. All right. If you are the one that reached out to me and we are here right now, I want to tell you that fake outs like this, for me, they are high probability trade setups. All right. When I see fake outs like this, I like to go for it. I like to go all in for it because it's a high probability setup and it usually delivers fantastic move. Okay. Now, because it's not happening right now, doesn't mean you should exactly give up on fake outs. Okay. Like I said, they are high probability setups and usually trigger an extensive move in the opposite direction. All right. So you can keep an eye on this. So far, it's stuck inside this range. We have this move right here. It's almost still on one spot so far. Okay. So we have so let's say we have resistance right here for that consolidation. Okay. And then I would rather make this thinner instead of taking out that of the center line. And then we have our support right here for that consolidation. Okay. So far, it's been on one spot. Okay. So eventually, we get it close back below the support, then it will be even more interesting to trade the fake out as well. All right. But what would invalidate that is if we get a convincing break above resistance at 0.93419 resistance level, if we get it close above that, then that would kind of invalidate that potential for the fake out. All right. Don't forget to quickly highlight that. Oh, okay, Puma, you explained that observation. Your USD was supposed to buy, it went and sell that option, that's why it makes up. Okay. Now what I'll say is that sell could have been a short-term sell, all right? Because if you check okay, let's even go back to Euro USD. Let's go back to USD. All right. So this is zero USD. This is zero USD. I'm going to take this. This is zero USD. And then here we have the daily candle. So that means this is yesterday's candle. All right. Now we got this push all the way to very close to resistance at 1.166. All right, at 1.166 before that push to the downside. All right. So we saw the effect of the news. All right, almost hitting resistance at 1.166, and then as a result of that resistance, we saw that push back to the downside. So it behaves exactly how we expected it to behave. Okay. So nothing strange right there. Nothing strange there. All right, Francis, good morning to you. Thank you for joining. All right, so next up, let's look at pound USD. Let's look at pound USD. Right, this is daily time frame as well. This is daily time frame as well. Again, started from this low at 1.3, pushed higher to this level, gave us a higher low, then we have a higher high right there. Now, this higher high is also sitting on a resistance. Now, that resistance is at 1.325. Okay, it's at 1.325. And it's not surprising to now see that it's beginning to stop because of that resistance, right? So, what this means is that, and then yesterday's candle closed as an inverted armor, right? An inverted armor. Right. So moving forward, if we see a close above 1.325, then that would be bullish for pound USD. All right. Currently, below 1.325 is bearish. So what it means is that we take sell below 1.325. All right. And then we also have this support right here. Also have this support right here. Okay, so I'm going to have eyes on these supports at around 1.32 and then resistance at around 1.325. That's the daily time frame. Okay, now let's take that to 15 minutes for a more precise entry opportunity. All right, so we have resistance at 1.325 and then we have our support right here, right? 1.132 approximately. Okay, and then we have price currently below the 50-period moving average. We also see a confirmed reversal right here. This is dark cloud cover, right? This is dark cloud cover, right? So this 15 minutes candle, this current one, if we see a bearish candle, all right, at the end of this 15 minutes, that would be our trigger to stop pound USD. All right. If on the other hand, we get it close back above the 50-period moving average, then we'll be setting up for more push to the upside. All right. That's pound to USD. We'll be setting up for more push to the upside. Okay. Currently, we have this reversal pattern. This is dark cloud cover. We start candlestick patterns. This is dark cloud cover, and then we get another bearish candle, right? Another bearish candle below the 50-period moving average. Then that would set up for the sell opportunity, right, on pound USD. Right. Your observation is right again on daily time frame. Yeah, so we continue to observe. This is a critical resistance level at 1.168. Then we also have the support at 1.16. All right. Initially was resistance. Price is now above that. Okay. Price is now above that. We really do not have any high impact news for today that can significantly impact price. All right. But tomorrow, I said earlier, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI for that. I'm going to do back on it to confirm the exactness that we have for tomorrow. But we have a high impact news for the dollar tomorrow. Okay, so for Euro USD, the conclusion was that as long as it stays above 1.16, look for opportunities to buy, right? Look for opportunities to buy, all right, towards that resistance at 1.166. That's the conclusion for Euro dollar. USD CHF2, right? So I see most of these major pairs are at either resistance or support. Okay. And I believe they're going to present fantastic trade opportunities moving forward, depending on which direction the breakout happens, all right? Depending on which direction we get a breakout. Okay, let's check USD JPY for Kenny at day. So even for USD JPY, I've had eyes on this ascending channel for USD JPY, and then you see this break above the trend line resistance, all right, for that channel, right? So price pushed higher, and then now we have a retest, all right? It's now retesting that same trend line as support. Okay, so above that, we look for opportunities to buy, all right? As long as it stays above that support now, all right? For a long period of time, it used to be resistance, all right? So right about now, price is now above it, so it automatically flips that level to support, and then we take our buys above that trend line, all right, which is now acting as support for price. Again, what would invalidate this for me would be if we get it close back inside of that channel. Okay, so far we do not have that as yet. Okay, so it's the next time for a more precise entry opportunity. Okay, very good. Let me take this out. Okay, so for USD JPY on this 15 minutes time frame, I'm going to be looking at this level to take buy. I'm going to be looking at this level to take buy. See how this trend line has impacted price on this 15 minutes time frame. Right here, hits that trend line support, and then they push higher, same here as well, push higher, the same here as well, push higher. So I'm going to be looking at this level to take my buys on this 15 minutes time frame. Okay, for USD JPY. Kenny Ade, I hope you got that. Okay, so that's for USD JPY. That's for USD JPY. Okay, right. Thank you very much for that confirmation. I got that thumbs up. Yeah, endurance. It's the Switzerland franc, that's the CHF, is also considered to be a safe haven currency. And that simply makes that just like the dollar, investors will fluctuate during times of economic uncertainty, when we have market volatility. All right. So when we have that, investors usually flock to the CHF because it's more stable, it's a safe haven, and then that's increased demand. It's what drives up its value, and then it looks like it's stronger most of the time, right? It looks like it's stronger most of the time. It's also still having currency, right? Investors like to fluctuate during times of economic uncertainty. Francis is asking about real JPY. I have that there. Before we touch on USD card, wow, strange that I don't have it here. Okay, so this has been as bullish as it can get, right? It's been as bullish as it can get. So on the daily time frame now, so far for me it's been sideways. Okay, all right. So on the daily time frame, so far for me, it's been sideways, even though it's been pretty much aggressively bullish so far. All right. So we have resistance right here, then we have support right there as well. Okay. And then, of course, it's well above the 50 moving average. And this is the daily time frame. Remember, this is our anchor chart where the main analysis is carried out. And then can tune down to a much lower one for a more precise entry opportunity. So what does that mean for JPY on the 15 minutes time frame, right? So I have that level right here and this level as well. Okay. So number one, for JPY on this 15 minutes time frame, if I see it close below that support, all right, initially it was resistance. All right. So if I can see a close below that support on this 15 minutes time frame, then I'll be looking at the area here to take my buys. Okay. You do not want to be buying at such a high price right now. Okay. You need to wait for some discount, all right, to buy at a discounted price. All right. So what it means is that we wait for some retracement, right? We wait for some retracement. Number one, we look for it here. So by the time it retests this support at 180.764, we wait for some bullish confirmations right there. And then if we get it, it will be our trigger to long right at 180.764. However, if what we get is it close below 180.764, close below that support, then we'll be heading towards this next support around 180.627. All right. And then we'll be looking at that level to take our buys. Okay. Looking at that level to take our buys. That's Euro JPY. That's Euro JPY. So let's look back on USD card. USD card. Daily time frame, we have it at 1 point. Welcome, sir. We have it at 1.398 support. You see multiple attempts at support and resistance at 1.398, right? And then we also have this ascending channel as well. Okay. So price has now tested the support side of that channel, and then we see some reversal pattern. So for USD card, above 1.398 is bullish, all right? Above 1.398, we look for opportunities to buy. So let's take that to 15 minutes time frame now. Right. So on 15 minutes time frame, we now have price above the 50 moving average. So what I need to see here is for this candle to close bullish. All right. I need to get this candle closing bullish, and that would be trigger to long USD card. All right. That will be my trigger to long USD card. I need this current candle to close bullish. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Yeah, I still have eyes on Euro AUD. All right. Still have eyes on Euro AUD. Okay, it's been stuck between 1.8 and 1.76. All right, it's been pretty much sideways. All right, and the longer consolidation phase takes like this, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. All right, so I'm pretty much interested in which direction this breaks out. But so far, the way you trade this is to buy at support and sell as at resistance as many times as that happens to take advantage of that consolidation that we currently have here. Eventually, we expect price to break out either above the resistance or below the support. And like I said, longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. And that's why uh, I have eyes on Euro AUD. Okay. All right, we touched on Euro CHF already. Touched on Euro CHF already. Okay. All right, let's also go back to oil. Okay, so for oil, remember how I said that there's been a plan to increase production by 1,700 barrels per day, beginning from December, all right? Beginning from December, right? And then that would mean that we're going to have increased production, which means there's going to be surplus. Then, as a result of that surplus, we can expect price to be bearish for oil. We can expect price to be bearish for oil as a result of that surplus that is expected. Okay, so currently at this resistance, 63.89. This resistance at 63.89. Okay. Right. See that? Okay. So for me, I'll be waiting for price to break below this support. Then that will be my trigger to short. I've traded this like 3 times already. Traded it like 3 times already since I started mentioning it on this phone. Traded it like 3 times, right? So now waiting for price to break below this support, all right, at 63.57. As we get that convincing break below 63.57, it will be yet another opportunity to short oil, to get another opportunity to short oil. Okay. Oh, I did. Well, let's go back to it. We have a few minutes left. Let's go back to it. Euro AUD. All right. So what I said here, it's been consolidated, all right? It's been consolidated. It's stuck between 1.80 resistance and 1.76 support, all right? You see that move all the way to resistance, resistance right here, support, support, support as well, okay? So, like I said, the way to trade this consolidation is to continue to take buys at support and then take sell at resistance. Now, eventually, we don't expect this to continue forever. Eventually, we expect price to break out of this consolidation phase, okay? And that would mean a break to the upside above the resistance or a break to the downside below support, okay? So the direction in which it breaks out, of course, will be significant for Euro AUD moving forward. Once that happens, the way to trade this is to buy at support and sell at resistance. And then I've also added for your AUD the fact that the longer a consolidation phase lasts, the more aggressive the resulting breakout usually is. And that's why I have this on my radar. I've had eyes on your AUD. All right. and I'm really watching out for that breakout as soon as possible. Okay, as soon as possible. EK, I hope you got that for Euro AUD. All right. Right. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. Right. I believe this is a fine place to leave it for today, right? This is the fine place to leave it for today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, right? Oh, I just did for real AUD. I just did for real AUD. Gold has been aggressively bullish, all right? Gold has been aggressively bullish. Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time out to join us yet again on today's edition of our Money Market Review. Join us same time tomorrow from 8 a.m. All right, Wednesday, tomorrow, as we continue to take advantage of these fantastic moves in the markets. All right. So far, I've been able to look at a number of pairs for today and ones that we have on the watch list for trade opportunities as soon as they present themselves. All right. Thank you very much for joining once again. It's been great talking to us for past hour. Thank you very much, and I wish you a great trade day.